Well, hello there, YouTube. Per a couple of requests and hints to not forget the old iron, I am riding the old iron. She ain't old. She's just a little over 2 years old, to me anyway. So I caged it to work, even though there's a 0% chance of rain. I know better. And at all costs, I'm going to avoid getting that street glide wet. I mean, it's going to happen. But, like going, right in a hole. But, driving to work, just droning down the freeway with all them cars and whatever, that's definitely a place you don't want to get caught in the rain, is going down the freeway. Because if the rain don't get you, the overspray from everything else will wipe you out. But anyway, it was, you know, it had some weird clouds, and if you look south, you can still see it's got that southern storm look to it. I was kind of hanging around, looking in the western skies here this morning, and get out my old handy iPhone, and I forget what this radar app is that I use, but that thing is so fast, so accurate, and fast, and it updates, and it's just beautiful. I don't recall what the name of the app is. Maybe I'll put a little reader board right here. But anyway, I look at that, and at Castle Rock, and then again down in the Longview Kelso area, there's some there are some rain clouds coming from the you know, it was a west wind, so it was heading east, and I thought, that's rain right there. Kelly goes, oh, there's a 0% chance of rain. She always looks at the weather for me, you know, so I don't, you know, get busy doing whatever and then just jump up, grab, you know, because a lot of times I don't pay attention to the weather, but she thought it looked a little weird out there herself as well. I go, yeah, I know it says 0% chance of rain. I said, did you look at the radar though? She goes, what's a 0% chance of rain? I said, well, yeah, it was a 2% chance of rain when I went through those 3 massive downpours and going to Olympia. Yeah, it ain't much going through there. I forget who it was that made the comment about looked like stagnant water there. That's still the Salmon River, or Salmon Creek, and that's still the same one that there's some shutter bumps, shutter from trucks and stuff coming up there, and you know, it gets a damn waves in there. I think it'll beat the hell out of you. Anyway, looking at the radar, clearly the rain was coming, so I decide I'm just going to cage it. You know, I don't even want to ride the Spider in the rain. You know, I just don't feel like putting gear on, and I just wasn't in the mood, you know, so I didn't ride anything all day yesterday. Oh, today's Sunday, the 3rd of August. So yesterday, Sunday, I didn't ride anything. I worked on the street glide a whole bunch, but didn't ride it because it just off and on. Same thing, there's 0% chance of rain yesterday, but it sprinkled at the house, and then Kelly and I caged it up to Lacey up there, and picked up all the large parts. I have everything except for the end caps for the mufflers, the cable for the Super Tuner Pro. I had to get a new cable, as I mentioned, because the Street Glide, everything starting in 2014 is all CAN bus. So the cable to connect to a CAN bus bike is different than the cables I've been using on all the Sportsters and Road King and everything else, you know. And you know, some other people that have bought boxes for theirs, and I said, save yourself, because they're not someone that would ever touch that. I said, you buy the box, I'll get you hooked up. And anyway, so the cables have all worked. But like I say, the CAN bus. And poor Triple X Deadhead, someone gifted him. They bought him a Screamin' Eagle street tuner, which is perfectly fine, but you can, you can't mess around with the air fuel ratios, and there's a lot of things you can't do with it. Basically, you know, he had the dealer put a stage 1 flash on his, and basically he can't do anything else to that. He can fine tune it a little bit, but it can adjust the air fuel ratios, and that's where it's key. And that's where all the magic is. That's why the Pro Tuner is another. I think that one's about $300, and it's $500 for the Pro Tuner. You're paying $200 to have the ability to make your bike illegal. Now, where he lives in California, you're talking some serious trouble if you get caught doing that. I mean, major trouble. But anyway, you're not supposed to make them non-legal anyway. But you ought to see the box on the Pro Tuner, all the warnings that this is, you know, for competition use only, not for street legal motorcycles. This is for closed course competition only, and you know, it's telling you straight up, your bike is not going to be street legal after doing this. Well, the street tuner keeps everything legal. In fact, if you look at shop.harley-davidson.com and you do a search by the name Super Tuner Pro or Pro Super Tuner, I always get that thing mixed up. It's the Pro version of the Super Tuner. And you know, the other one doesn't even call it Super Tuner, it's just called a Street Tuner. But you can even put the part number in there, and it does not show up. It says part not found, because they're not going to sell something that's going to make your bike illegal through their online store. You have to do some digging to find the part number for it. But anyway, so that cable I'm missing, the end caps for the Screamin' Eagle mufflers, and the luggage rack, which is kind of a large one. It's not one I'll leave on there because I'm sure it's going to be kind of gangly looking. But the only thing I'm going to use that thing for is like if Kelly and I take little trips, which she is very interested. She goes, "You've had all these Harleys and I can't ride on them." And she even suggested, because here in 2 weeks we're taking back off basically to take the same route that I took home by myself. And ultimately we're going to spin off from the event. It's the Spiders in the Redwoods is where we're going. But ultimately we're going to spin off from that and go down and play around in San Francisco. And I'll probably meet up with Triple X Deadhead and Gabe again. He says, "Let me know when you're going to be here, where you're going to be, and whatever. We'll try to hook up." And once you're in San Francisco, it's I mean, I could even go to him as far as that goes. But anyway, it'd be kind of cool to do something in San Francisco. I'm using my Hero 4 on the chin. It's been sitting on the chin mount because I've been using the 3 Plus, my reliable camera, on the side mount for the Street Glide, and because it can see over the cowling. I don't prefer that view, but it's it's fine. It gets the job done. But it sets higher and you can see over the bike. The chin fairing it makes it look like I'm squatted down below the cowling, and it's only because the camera's on my chin. And you gotta remember, when you're riding with your helmet's facing down, so it's on my chin and sits low. And anyway, it just makes the view too low. It's like coming down to, well, you don't know it, but you're seeing that way right now too. And it makes this cowling look weird. It makes it have some weird bat wing look to it. And if you see this cowling in real life, it does not look skewed like the video makes it look. But anyway, she was I got the backrest and stuff on there yesterday, and she's sitting on it all nice and comfortable. She likes riding on it anyway, even without the backrest. But the passenger seat does have kind of that downward slope in the back, you know. It's that look, you know. But it's comfortable. She says it's very comfortable. But, you know, she needs a backrest to sit back there and feel confident. And, you know, she just has that feeling like she's going to fall off. She knows she can hold on, but it's just, you know, if you felt like you're sliding off of something, that would not be very confidence inspiring, you know, on your ride. Yeah, look down south. Crazy looking out there. But this camera is probably the contrast, that probably just all looks white and washed out, but it's not. But that backrest is, or the luggage rack, I'm sorry, is back ordered until the 14th of August. And he said it'll take about a week after it's released for it to get to them. So I'll probably see it towards the end of August. But I'm in no big hurry for that. But I think Wednesday of this week is when they're predicting the cable and the end cap will come in, or the end caps will come on. So unlike other Harleys, you know how you can put either the exhaust on, or very foolishly you can put the stage 1 air filter on, but it's kind of the same thing, but it's a little bit worse. I mean, you can put the mufflers on and have the stock air box, and the full potential of the exhaust is not going to be realized. But if you put the stage 1 air filter on with the stock exhaust, now you really do have a bottleneck. I mean, you're really going to wig the thing out, and that air box, you know, you're going to hear that throttle body bark like crazy. And so you know how I feel about that. So I was going to do them both. But anyway, I was looking at the stage 1 kit, or air filter kit, and you know, usually they tell you if you can do one or the other and the bike will adjust for it. But they must breathe so well, both the exhaust, and the exhaust is literally about that big around, and it goes straight through. You look inside that muffler, and it looks like an old glass pack. I don't know if they even still make those things anymore, but in the old days you always put glass packs on our cars and stuff. But anyway, it's just an opening with a perforated pipe in the middle and some packing material on the outside, you know. That's all this thing is. There's no cat in there, there's nothing in there. Just an open hole straight through. So that muffler's gonna breathe, and I breathe well. And this stage 1 air filter kit, man, this thing's pretty elaborate. You know, the front of that, because it still uses the stock airbox cover, and it's got this great big air scoop in the front. And there's a little rubber piece that kind of kicks that and like disturbs it a little bit, because you know, like all stage 1 air filters, the backside of the airbox is removed, so the whole inside down here is gone. All that plastic you see behind your airbox cover on a Harley, all that plastic behind there is gone. It's just open. Well, now that scoop is a little redundant, so there's like it's got like a little blocker that looks like it's going to cut about half of that ram air effect, but it also looks like it's going to, the way it's cutting half of it off, but it looks like it'll speed up what does come in. It's kind of cool looking how, I'm sure they sort and work all that stuff out and realize they needed to, a lot of bugs hitting me here, just making sure I don't have anything on the camera. Oh, I'll have to, well, there's a picture of it, but see if you can see it in the camera. Look, I'm wearing a Harley Davidson coat. I spent some shackles at the shop there. So I'm not wearing the old Yamaha jacket anymore. I'm actually wearing a genuine Harley jacket. It's called Harley clothing or something like that. But it's a real Harley garment. And it's actually I looked around, you know, and I kind of like textile stuff. I love leather too, but, you know, in the summertime, I just like to be comfortable and flexible, and, you know, the leather is just thick and binding, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love leather jackets, but for just goofing around, they're just too much, and it's too easy for them to get too hot. You know, safety-wise, you know, they're, you know, fantastic. But anyway, so they didn't have anything that I liked, and Kelly's over there looking at coats and fell in love with this one jacket that she wants to be a surprise gift. She goes, "This is a Christmas gift." Well, I'll do something before then, but it's like $350 or $380. It's really nice though. And so anyway, and then I see this jacket, and I go, "Holy crap!" And she was going, "Oh, I was going to point that out to you." She goes, "I figured you would spot that one right away. It's got stripes on the sleeves and all the little stuff on it's like leather and reflective and all this stuff, but it's a woman's garment. It's only we asked the gal, I says, is this same jacket available in men's?" And she goes, "No, that's a woman's, it's in the woman's, the female side of things, you know." And so I poked around through there. She goes, "You know, it doesn't matter." It goes, "You know, girls wear guys' jackets and guys buy the girls' jackets all the time, you know." And so anyway, I poked around through there and found a 2XL that is probably halfway between large and extra large. It's a little snug, but you know how textile stuff is. It's kind of like an old, it's like leather shoes, and things they'll kind of form fit to you. Nothing's too tight anywhere. It's just a little snug, but you know, I wore it around the house yesterday, and now I'm riding with it, and it does not feel too tight. Maybe just a skosh right around the shoulder blades, maybe, but just barely. I just kind of feel like there's just a slight little thing touching my my shoulder blades. But like I say, this thing, you know, God, you wear a t-shirt or a sweatshirt underneath here, and it'll fit this thing in a moment, you know. Just give her a little tug. Of course, when you wash it, but it's supposed to be machine or a laundry. You can't just throw it in the washer, because it actually has a waterproof membrane that goes through it. But it's the membrane is only in the, like as if you're wearing a vest. And it has vents all through it. Like I have the vents open now, and this vent's fantastic. The air's just rushing all through this thing. It's not that hot out here. It's about 84. But 84, after what we've been living here in the 100 degrees, 84 feels like about 60. What would normally feel like 60. But anyway, it's a woman's garment. There's no pink or nothing on there. I mean, this thing full on looks like a guy's jacket. I don't know if you can see any of that in there. It's got a beautiful Harley Davidson deal. Oh, that's what's feeling tight. It's the patch. I'm feeling the patch on the back. This great big thing. But anyway, I could care less. I'm sure when I go into a Harley shop, like tomorrow, I'm gonna swing into Columbia Harley there in Vancouver. And I'm gonna grab a couple of Harley oil filters for the Street Glide. And I don't know where I'm at on this. I might need to get another one for this one too. Where am I at? I wonder. Yeah, it hasn't been that long. It was towards the end of the season last year. I did the 5K service on it. But anyway, I'm sure when I walk in there wearing this, somebody's going to have a wisecrack. You do realize that's a woman's garment. Like, does it look closely at my face? Oh, damn. That was the road I was going to take. Let's see, let's do this on a hill. was going to do a little something, mix things up here a little bit today. I've taken you once this way on this road. It's where those 3 weird little lakes are in this little neighborhood that you can't see. You can see it on a map. Hell, I don't remember what the name of this road is. I didn't even mention the name of this road in one of my, I call them stalkers. I mean no harm when I call you a stalker. Well, unless you show up at my house unannounced, that's a little creepy. But if you follow where I go, I don't care. You know, even on the street glide, I've been just turning the map on. When I drive along, I'm not riding. I just reach up there and power the thing down, and it has a pretty orange Harley badge, and it's all blacked out and has a great big clock on it. And so if you see that in one of my vlogs, it means I vlogged kind of on a whim. But I leave the, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I leave the GPS going so you guys can watch. You can actually, I don't know how, by the time it gets on YouTube it gets skewed, but on my laptop when I'm processing these things, you can clearly see the road and the, you know, the time and speed. It shows the speed. I'm gonna switch that thing over. I think I can choose, what was it I wanted to choose? Oh, I think I was gonna put the temperature over there. I don't need to see the speed. I've already verified the speedo is exact. You know, GPS and speedo, which is very nice. You'd be surprised how many speedos are not correct. But there's speedo healers and stuff you can use. Now, how well that works for the CAN bus system, I don't know. But I don't know how all that's tied in with a Harley. You'd never get that done on a Spider, I can tell you that. There's that Gaspador Park. And I think I drove by, but I don't know if I used it in the vlog, but they have taken the eagle that was in the box right out here by the road. I mean, it was right there. You could see the box. I think when I took you through here, you could see the box. And the eagle was in it. That's now sitting next to across the street from the post office. But sadly, Jesus is gone off of that double bubble thing. It's great big Jesus that sat there. It looked just like the thing in Rio de Janeiro on the top of the hill. Stand there with his arms out. It's really cool. But he got dismantled by the storms last year. So his arm fell off in the first storm, and he fell off in the second storm. Now, I don't care how religious or if you're religious at all, there's something just way wrong about a statue of Jesus falling off, you know. So really, you know, whether you're a religious person or not, you know, this was a real man that really lived. This is, you know, not like, you know, now, you know, whatever powers he had, that's up to interpretation, but he was a real living physical human being. But anyway, a little creepy that he fell off of that thing in a storm. There's like something sacrilegious about that or something. That's where that bobcat was sitting out there that one day. So I had this thing kind of loosely in my head, but we're back at I call it Drew's Prairie right here. It's when you make that turn, it becomes Telegraph Road. But I just got through. I don't want to backtrack. Do I want to take you back through here? Nah, I don't want to take you back through here. Like I said, I had this loosely in my head, and I guess loose is a good term for it. Look at that little dirt road that runs along down there along the Fryway. Look, there's even a road that shoots down there too. That's that little, wow, it's like you don't see any water right there. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna take you down Telegraph Road one more time here. And instead of taking a left on State Route 506, I'm gonna take a well, I took a right, I'm gonna take a left this time. I'm not sure if I just about said that backwards. But man, riding this iron after spending so much time on that street glide, this thing feels like it weighs about 12 pounds. It just feels so nimble. And one of the things, as soon as I left the house, that seems shocking to me is I actually feel like I'm stretched out more. The bike, its sitting position almost feels larger than the street glide. And I know my arms are out straighter, but I do have that Mustang seat that kicks me back like 1.5 inches or 2 inches if I sit back in the bucket. But this little day tripper, like I can sit way up front here and perfectly comfortable. This thing's just got 1,000,001 seating positions on it. But this is now Telegraph Road when I made that little left back there. But we're gonna bomb down here and take a left at the bottom. So I was about to say something else. I got to thinking about how this thing just feels quite roomy. And I'm so used to sitting with my feet on the floorboards on the street glide that I'm actually using the mid pegs more than I normally do. Now I've switched to the back pegs. But man, I can't begin to tell you how happy I am with that street glide. I mean, I just can't remember when I've been that overall enthusiastically happy with that motorcycle. There's two little things that are you turning in somewhere? A turn signal would have just done wonders. I realize you're out here on a road that nobody travels, but still, I don't know if I'll use this in a vlog, but on the video I just released, Saturday drive on or a nice ride, or Saturday, I think it's Saturday ride on the street glide. I name these things like at the last second, so half the time I forget what the hell I call them. And if it's a dud, I'll go through and I'll flip the thumbnail and give it a different name. So you guys comment under one name and you get a reply on another. You're probably wondering, what the hell? But I haven't done that in a long time. But I was too busy to care, and unless the video is just a complete dud for some reason, and I'll go back and do it. But like I say, I haven't done that in a long time. I might have some duds in there. I don't even pay attention. I don't even have to look to see how many subs I have, because there's always someone else telling me. I don't pay attention to that either. I filter them emails. Now I save every time you guys subscribe to me. I save that in a folder called subscriptions, or subscribers. I mean, because I lose. If you look at your graph, I lose between 200 and 300 subscribers a month, which still baffles my mind. I mean, I can't think of one person that I have actually unsubscribed. Now, you can turn on and off if you're notified when someone, posts the video or something like that. Actually, you have to go in there and physically turn it on. If you subscribe to somebody, you're not automatically just going to get, reminders every time they post a video. In fact, you don't. You got to go in and turn that on. And, but anyway, if I watch someone, I thought I wanted to watch them, and then it turns out they're not what I'm into or whatever, it's kind of like Facebook. You don't watch them, and they don't even show up in your suggested list or anything, They just kind of go away. You're still subscribed to them, but you're gone. How in the holy hell does 200 or 300 people a month decide that I'm so bad that they unsubscribe from me? That's just way weird. But I don't know. If I offend you guys, I hope you would. Surely you would email me or tell me in a comment or something. It's like, hey, old dude, you're driving me nuts, or you do a certain thing that drives me nuts, or whatever. And I even get some people. I have this one guy that I actually enjoyed his comments, and somehow or another I offended him, and he sends me a note saying blah blah blah, and I'm unsubscribing. So I fought for this old boy back, and he resubscribed because I get the email, you know. He resubscribes, and then, well, if I told you what happened, you'd know who I'm talking about. But anyway, all of a sudden I get this raving, doesn't even send it as a private message, he actually just posted it in a comment, you know, all mad, and he goes, you know, something about being pissed off or whatever, and you lost a subscriber or whatever. And I go, you know what? This guy flies off the handle way too. I'm way too often having to explain stuff to him to try to, you know, be nice to him. You know, I don't need. I got enough things going on. I don't need to be holding somebody's hand. You know. Well, let me explain what I meant by this. You know, it just like way too super, or you know, suspicious that, you know, I'm saying something offensive or whatever. You know, I'm just me when I comment. If you know me, I would never in a million years say something offensive to you. I just wouldn't do that. You know, if we know each other on a personal level, you may do something that aggravates me, and you know, you can probably tell that I'm a little irritated. But still, even though I'll still be nice for the most part. I may do things I don't want to do or whatever, but man, I just smelled like somebody like threw a dirty diaper out or something. Look at all that crap on the road here. Oh, the bushes have grown and I can't see my little, that's my little spot that I stop and show you guys. Hey, look, the water went down. That log is back out of the water again. I took the street glide. That's what I was going to tell you. Oh man, I could get a flat out of this crap down here. That was a quiet one. I don't do tunnel revs very often. Giant Midget Moto cracked me up with this really thick overpass, you know. And I go, damn. I said, that damn overpass is so big it was almost like a tunnel. And he tells me, yeah, he goes, in big bridges like that, those are half tunnels. I don't know why, it just cracked me the hell up. Never thought of it that way, but I guess half tunnel is good enough. Seemed funny as hell to me. But anyway, what I was going to say, and I said I forgot what I was going to say, and I remembered, and I don't go back to it, is talking about the street glide. I have literally done hours of vlogging on this thing. I have almost 700 miles on that thing now. So I've showed you 2 videos that are, what, half hour or somewhere around there each. Hours. I have folders of vlogs. You have no idea how much vlogging I've done on that thing. But I don't know, I have a weird feeling. I feel like I feel like if I do too many vlogs on it or something, I kind of have this weird feeling like I'm showing off or something, and I don't. You have to pardon all the wind. There's like a headwind like hell, the typical northwest wind. But I don't know. I get this funky feeling like I'm showing off, and I don't want to offend anybody, you know. I know that feeling, and you know, I'm not a very jealous person, and I don't get riled up over things like that. But let me throw this little I gotta tell you something here too. Throw this little scenario at you. Like, say you really want something really bad, and I mean you really want it bad, and you're struggling, you're working your way to it. You know you're going to end up getting it, but you know you're in a struggle. You know, work's being weird, or it's slow at work, your pay's not as good, or whatever, and then some asshole just up and grabs what you want. There's a little bit of that green-eyed monster that comes out. You know, it's just like, I try and I try and I try, and this asshole just goes out and gets it. Well, it's not that easy, trust me, but I'm not going to do any preaching on that. I just don't want to show too much of that, because I'm afraid people are going to be offended. You know what I mean? Is that making any sense? So, change the subject. On Saturday, I was in my ride. I come through here. This is always shaded. I'm sweeping around right here, and I'm going through, and you know how I tell you how that street glide, you pick a line that stays on it. I lean back and kind of like almost close my eyes just for a second, and I say, I don't have the camera going, but I sit back and I go, oh God, that feels so good. You know, you kind of have that half-masked eyes, and something catches me, and my first thought was a motorcycle was passing me. But I jump and I look, and here's a deer, still with spots, running beside me. And I'm like, holy crap. And then I see another one come out of the ditch and turn, no spots, it must have been the mama, come right at me and turn at the last second. So I just know this little one, because it's gaining on me, because of course I freaked out and I'm woven up, I just know it's going to cut in front of me and just take me out, or run into me, or try to jump over me or something. And then as this one's turning out, that one they both dart out to the right. It scared me so bad, I couldn't even let out a scream. You ever had something startle you to the point that I didn't even hit the brakes. I was just so stunned at what I seen. I just went like blank, I guess you could say. I don't slam on the brakes, I don't scream or nothing. It's like somebody cut a extension cord, pulled them out, and just jousted you with the wires and just let you have it, and just shocked the hell out of you. It was that stunning. It was one of those things that you're down, and you know you're just gonna, it's almost going through my head is, how bad is this going to be? Because there was no question that these two deer, this was not gonna end well. The first thing that goes through my head, the craziest thing, absolutely the first thing that goes through my head is, I'm gonna kill the brand new bike. And I haven't signed up, because you can pay, I forget what it is, $9 a month or something like that, or maybe it's not even that much, or maybe it's more, I don't know, I just pay it. But there's a thing with your insurance company, if you're in good standing, there's a little thing you can pay that'll, if something happens to your bike, they'll reimburse you. It's a replacement value, but you got to pay a little extra for it. And but anyway, it's replacement value, not, insurance. If you ever had something total out on you, you don't get the full money back. Like, if I total that street glide out, tomorrow, I don't just go down and buy me they're not going to just write me a check to go buy another street glide. They're going to pay me, 75-80% of its value. Well, it's not a brand new bike anymore. I've taken it off the showroom floor. And whatever crazy figures they come up with, what it's worth, you never know, But anyway, thinking that the bike's about to get wiped out, I wasn't even thinking about my own safety. You know, it's weird. This all happened just in, I mean, the whole thing probably lasted 2 seconds, if even that. And, you know, after the, you know, literally being speechless and motionless, I mean, I didn't even hit the brakes. How bad is that? Now, you know you're scared if you don't hit the brakes. I didn't even attempt to slow down. I was just like, how's this all going to play out? You know, how bad's this going to hurt? And this, because I see the spots and I'm thinking, is this thing, it's big enough to run faster than me? In fact, it was big enough, I was surprised it had spots, but I clearly seen the spots. And I seen, because they're real, this time of year, they're very bright. They're fur colors, real bright. And so you can see them real easy, unless they're out in the grass field or whatever, but anyway, you can see them really good. And anyway, this one clearly had spots, but it was hauling. But, you know, after the whole stun thing, I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to destroy the brand new bike, and how's this going to work with the insurance company? I'm not going to be able to just, you know, they're not going to write me a check for another motorcycle. I'm screwed. I'm dead in the water. Oh my Lord, I've talked for 41 minutes. So here at the beautiful little lake here in Toledo, Washington, I'm gonna sign off on this one. There's no sense in making this one go any further. So, or you guys just simply aren't going to watch it. But anyway, thanks for. I hope there was something good out of this thing. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with. Oh, look at the dust on it. Look at that. I should be ashamed. It's so dirty. And I've seen them new ones at the dealership, and they're so clean and new looking. I can absolutely make this thing look new. But yeah, she's all kinds of nasty. I need to get this thing a bath. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. I'll give the old iron some love. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm gonna sign off. See if you can see a better look. I can never tell where the camera's at. See a better look of the jacket. Very comfortable. But I had to go for a 2XL to get it to fit. Usually I buy my jackets a little loose and buy an extra large. And if you've seen me, you would think I would wear a 2XL, but honestly, I wear extra large T-shirts and coats. They're very comfortable. Extra large coats, they tend to be sized a little large, so you can put a sweatshirt and stuff like that under it. But like I say, this one's it's a 2XL, but it's because it's a woman's cut, and I don't have like boob bubbles or nothing like that in there. Although I have a little bit of man boobage, so I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing. But it's kind of sized like halfway between a large and an extra large. And like I say, the only thing I feel, I mean, I can bend all the way around. Everything's cool. There's just a slight snugness on the shoulder blades, and now that I think about it, the reason I'm feeling that is that huge patch that's on the back of it. It says genuine Harley something or another. It's really cool. And the Harley Davidson, how it's written out is a reflector. So at night when headlights are beaming, they're just going to see this big Harley Davidson going down the road. I was going to say goodbye at that damn lake. So at Jackson Highway, I'm going to say see ya. I told my wife I'd be gone no more than a half an hour. And I started vlogging about 15 minutes after I left the house, maybe even more. She's probably going to be mad. She goes, well, I won't wait to start dinner until a half an hour, because I know how you are. You say a half an hour will be an hour. Well, I think it's an hour now. It's 7:30. I have no idea what time I took off. So anyway, this is Jackson Highway. I appreciate you guys watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Whew, it's going to be a long one. We'll see you guys. Thank you very much. Take care now. Bye-bye.